Okay, so yesterday, everyone wanted me to cover Git as well. So first we will cover Git in the initial first half. Then we will start with Node. Okay, so what we'll be covering is just the Git basics and not the advanced. So basically, what is Git? It's a version control system for tracking changes in source code during software development. So yes, as I demonstrated yesterday, so if developer one is making some changes, and again to the same line developer 2 is making changes, so who made which changes and which should be kept is all managed by version control system. So Git is one of the version control system. Okay, so as I've mentioned here, it is designed for coordinating work among programmers, but it can be used to track changes in any set of files. So it's distributed non-linear workflows. It's like it has support for distributed non-linear workflows. So we don't necessarily need a central version control system to manage our code. Every developer can have the complete history of the code on their local machine with the help of Git. Okay, then let's go next. Okay, so basic commands, I'll teach you through a demonstration. Like I'll create one file, I'll initiate the Git repo and all. Okay, so I have this empty directory here. Okay, so I'll create a file here. First, I'll initialize the Git repo. Okay, so how to make a directory version control using Git. So we have to Git in it. So basically now this git learn directory is under the control of Git. So all the changes will be tracked here using Git. So as in my slide, with the Git status, you can know the status of the repo, current status of the repo. Okay, so Git status. So we are on branch master. So by default, Git keeps us on branch master. We have no commits yet, and we don't have any changes in the files as well. Okay, so let's see what happens when I add a file here. Okay, I will add demo.txt. So let's check the status of our Git repo now. Okay, so you can see in the status that we have one untracked file demo.txt as we created here. Okay, so I will go back to slides. So before going into this command, I'll first explain this. How Git works, basically how do we commit changes and all. So basically we have three stages in Git repo. We have working directory, we have staging area, and then we have final commits. Basically repository, working directory is our local machine directory. If we like we have now we have added demo.txt. So if we have not in like when we add that demo.txt file to like to control, like to have it controlled by Git, that comes in repository. Okay, so all files and folder may or may not be managed by Git, but is aware of it. So like I have shown in Git status, Git is aware that we have one untracked file which is not managed by Git. So that is working directory stage. So what is staging area? It is used to prepare for the next commit. Let's say a developer has made some changes to some files and he has to save that state. So that saving a particular state is basically commit. Okay, so I have added some 100 lines and I want to save the state of that file. So I will add that file to staging area and then commit. So basically whatever files are in staging area will be committed to that particular state. Okay, and then what is repository? It is all committed and saved changes to the Git repo. Basically it now it has some history in the Git. Okay, so I will just demonstrate with the help of this command. So as you can see, we have one untracked file here. Okay, so what if I want to save the status of my working directory on Git? So what will I do? I will add that file to staging area. Okay, to add a file to staging area, you can use command git add file name. Okay, so I will add git add demo.txt. Okay, so let's see what status shows us now. Okay, so you can see it has turned into green color and which has heading changes to be committed. So this file is now ready to commit, is ready to save the state. So we have committed here changes. Okay, so now even if we add some text to this file, it will be the changes won't be committed. After bringing the file into staging area, even if you are making some changes to that file, those changes won't be committed. Okay, so we have a wildcard also. If you want to add all the files to the staging area, let's say you have here, like I have currently have only one file. Okay, so let's say in a project, working live project, we have like 10 files modified at a time. Okay, and you won't be adding each using git add and file name, git add file name. So when you execute git add period command, so it is basically a dot. So what it does, it add all the modified or untracked files to the staging area. Okay, also we have, like, if you want to add all the js files or let's say txt files, so the star mark will show whatever the name of the file is. If it has extension .js, it will add. So these are some tricks to add different types of files or all add all files. Okay, so let's save this state using git commit. So git commit hyphen m. So this can be here is the commit message. Basically, what you have changed in the files, what feature you have added to your code, anything. It can some relevant message so that when you are looking this file history after some time, let's say after a month, you should know what you have done in this particular commit. Okay, so I will give initial commit. Okay, now I have committed the state. Let's check git status now. So as we have committed this file, we don't have any modified files that or we don't have any untracked file, as well as we don't have any changes to commit, nothing to commit, working tree clean. So if you want to see what are the commits in this git repository, you can just git log. Here you can see the commit now. Okay, so with the help of git log, you can see whatever commits are made to the repository. So again, we have a short trick here. If we have some modified file already and we want to commit, so with the help of flag hyphen am, a is for adding a file, m is for message, it will directly add the file to the staging area and add all the modified files to the staging area and then create a commit. So remember, this command won't add untracked files to the commit message. Okay, so everyone is understanding what I just now taught you guys about Git, or you want me to repeat something? So those who can unmute and talk, it's better because I don't have to check the chat message again and again. Yeah. Anyone problem until now? Has everyone understood what I have demonstrated now, just now, or taught you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll show you one more thing here. So I have this file here, demo.txt, let's say. So I will add here vr learning Git. Okay, so we have modified this file. Okay, so when we'll be checking Git status, we will have modified files listed, that is demo.txt. So these are not state changes. We haven't committed the state, or we haven't staged this file yet. We haven't modified this file yet. Okay, not we haven't committed the file yet. Sorry. So again, the same step if you want to add. So I will just add with the help of shortcut thing. So if I add git commit -am flag and a commit message, my sec, just a minute.
Hello, sir. You are not audible.
Yeah, I just stop. Wait. Like I was not audible all the time, or just when I was silent.
आपकी आवाज ऊपर नीचे हो रही है. Like sometimes it's coming good and sometimes it fades.
Okay, I will try removing my headphone then. क्या आवाज? हेलो हेलो,
आ रही है.
हाँ ठीक है. I will my second commit. Okay, so what we will do, what command this will do is it will add to staging area as well as with my -m flag. This commit message will be added and this changes will be committed. Okay, so when we check git log, we have two commits now. So there are some extension in VS Code and other softwares that shows us git history. So with the one which I have is git graph. So with the help of graph, you can see all the details here. So we have two commits here, and you can see also author, who was the author when it was committed. When you click, you can see which files were modified. Okay, demo.txt and like that. Okay, so let's go next. So I guess this you guys have understood. So now what you have, so now you have to keep some this code to some remote repository, right? So that everyone can push their code to a remote repository. Everyone can pull from anyone, like developer one and developer two are working from their home separately. Developer one has done some changes and he want to take the change, developer 2 wants to take changes from developer 1. Okay, so for that we use github majorly. So let's create a remote repository here. Okay, so you guys can create a github account, create a remote repository here. So I will make it private. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to push whatever the changes we have done to this GitHub repository. So this is again a remote Git repository, and what we did on our local machine is local Git repository. Okay, so you have to copy this link. This is URL of the repository, and with the command git remote add origin, you will add a remote repository to your local repository. Okay, so I will just add this git remote add origin and paste this URL. Okay, so currently I have two git configured on my machine. So only for demonstration purpose, I will be using SSH link. You guys have to use HTTPS link. Okay, so don't worry about the changes I made just now. That is just for as per my configuration. Okay, so we have added a remote repository to our local git repository. So basically the keyword origin can be used in further commands instead of the complete URL. So this can be anything. This can be a server, this can be origin, this can be anything you want to keep the name. Okay, this can be anything. So let's check if it is added. So git remote, with the help of command git remote -v, you can check what are the remote repositories added to your local git repository. So currently we can see our git learn demo repository is linked with the alias name origin. So this is called alias for this URL. So you can use anything here as I mentioned earlier. Also, you can have multiple remote repositories for the same local repository. So if let's say you have to keep code to two server, let's say one on GitHub, and you have to also keep one somewhere else on GitLab. So you can do again git remote add. Instead of origin alias, you have to use another alias, let's say GitLab, and URL of the GitLab Git repository. So when you will be doing git remote -v, you will see origin and then GitLab. So you can have multiple remote repository for a single local Git repository. Okay. So now we will push our code to the remote repository using this command git push -u origin, and this is the branch name you want to push code to. So we will be pushing it to master itself initially. So what -u does is it sets an upstream with the remote branch. So we have two different git repositories, one on local, one on remote. So we have master branch on local, master branch on remote. So what set upstream does is it connects two branches and saves in its history. So next time you want to push the code to same branch, you don't have to write this complete command or mention the branch name. With just git push command, that can be easily done when you set an upstream. So this is not mandatory, but we do it most of the times because we need it to be saved. Okay, so let's push our code to remote repository. So let's check status. So for pushing a code to a remote repository, we should have something committed. Okay, so we don't have anything committed on our remote repository, so we can push now. So we can git push -u origin master. Okay, I have a typo here in my URL. Let just a second. I have a typo here in the. Okay, so I have executed git push. So it will connect to our git remote git repository and it will push our code there. So let's check there, refresh this. So now we have git demo, we have demo.txt on our GitHub account, GitHub repository. Okay. So for pull, so to pull a code which some developer has made to same branch, you can use git pull origin and the branch name. So let's say I have a local git repository already and I want to pull the changes made to this master branch. Okay, so I will use git pull origin and branch which I have to pull master. Also one more thing, if you want to if you don't have any repository on your local machine and you want to directly start with the git history on this repository and whatever changes are already done into the code base, you can again use this URL and with the help of git clone and URL. So I will just type command and show you git clone and here URL of the remote repository. So it will clone the URL. It will clone the repository. Okay. So let's you will you will be comfortable with these commands when you will be using actually while uh, doing some merging or working with a team. So we will learn more about how git works and all. So I'm just giving you a basic idea. So okay, so now currently we have only
सर
master
एक
branch.
डाउट था।
हाँ बोलो ना.
सर मुझे एक डाउट था कि जो हमने जो मास्टर किया उस ब्रांच को, सॉरी उस रिपोजिटरी को, तो वो सिमिलर है। आई मीन मैंने जो मैन्युअली कर हूँ मैं, हर बार मैं जो उसका क्या जो मतलब वहाँ पे एक्चुअल में नन होता है पहले, फिर मैं उसे मास्टर करके चेंज करता हूँ सो दैट कि वो मुझे विजिबल हो। क्योंकि मतलब अगर एक से ज्यादा रिपोजिटरीज है मेरी, तो अगर मैंने फॉर एक्स वाई जेड, अगर आप अपना खुद का ओपन कर सकते हो क्या? हाँ, जैसे कि अभी आपका जो रिपोजिटरी है वो करंटली गिट लर्न डेमो है जो कि मास्टर में है।
Okay,
हेलो।
git and demo is my repository, master is my current branch. ठीक है. हाँ, आगे
हाँ,
बोलो.
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट। सो आई कैन चेंज इट मैन्युअली ऑल्सो, राइट? इन गोइंग इन सेटिंग्स एंड देन वहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन होता है, वहां से भी कर सकते, तो वो दोनों सेम है या अलग अलग है, ये मुझे पूछना था।
So basically, this is a kind of graph. What how Git works is a kind of graph. So somewhere you have to start. So you can start as a base branch as master or anything you want to name. Okay, but standards
हाँ।
are you should start with master itself. Okay.
ओके 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 ओके।
So let's say like further I was talking about Git branch only, creating branches. So we have a, let's say we have a graph now, and the top parent is master. So we have our code base here, let's say demo.txt. Now two developers are working. So when two developers are working on same branch, there will be every time a developer make changes, push to remote branch, he has to face merge conflicts. If I am, what are merge conflicts is, I have this line. Okay, both developers has written this in their code. So if I am making, developer one is making changes as git one and developer two is making changes git two. So basically if same line is changed, so it will create a conflict. So if developer one make changes, he pushes to github on master branch. Okay, now when developer 2 tries to push these changes, he will face merge conflict and he will not be able to push the changes. So he has to pull the changes made by developer 1 first and then push. So they remember, whenever there are changes on remote repository, you have to first pull all the changes to local repository or local branch and then push to the remote repository. Otherwise, if you forcefully push it to the remote repository, the changes which are not with you and are made by other developers, that will be erased automatically. Okay, so remember this thing. So now we have to, so as a standard practice, both developers should work on their separate branches, and then once they are done with the development part, they are let's say they were making some screen on a particular website, let's say portfolio website. Okay, so what developer one was working on about, developer two was working on experience, these two different features. So when they are ready, they should merge their code to master branch. So this is standard practice. So let's see how do we create a branch. Okay, so with this command git branch and I have let's say, so we have last 10 minutes, so I will cover up quickly. So let's say I want to create a develop branch one. Okay, so we have created a develop one branch. So to switch to that branch, we use git checkout develop one. So when we use git checkout, so currently we are on master branch, so using git checkout and branch name, we will be switched to develop one branch. Okay, so there is again a one shortcut to create a branch and directly switch to that branch. So let's say I want to make a different branch, develop two. So git checkout -b. What -b flag does is it creates a branch and it checks out automatically to that branch. So if you can see here, we have develop one here. So when I'm executing this command, it will create a branch develop two, and it will automatically check me out to the develop two branch. Okay. So we have currently made these two branches. Okay, so I made a mistake here. So I will explain. So we have master, we were on master branch. Okay, so we created a develop one branch. So this was created from master branch. Okay, so when we executed this command, we should be on master branch initially and then execute this command. To again go to master branch, you have to use git checkout master and then use this command. Let's say developer3. So in Git history, what we have now is master branch has two branches, develop one and develop three, and develop two is created from develop one branch. Okay, so this is how hierarchy goes. So this you won't find it like immediately, you won't understand. You should like when you will be doing this actually, you will understand it more clearly. So how it works. So to delete a branch, you have to use -d flag and branch name. So let's say we have created this branch wrongly, develop2. So let's delete that branch now. Git branch -d develop2. So this was deleted. Okay. So let's say you have made some changes to develop branch and you want developer 1 or developer 3 has made his changes and his feature is ready and the code is stable to go to master branch. So how to merge the changes? Go to master branch and execute this command git merge branch name. So while on master branch, when you execute git merge branch name, so it will merge your develop branch or whichever you want to merge into the master code base. Okay, so I will show you quickly. So let's check out to develop 3 again. Develop 3. Okay, let's go to code. We are learning Git in develop 3. Okay, save the changes, check the Git status. Git status. So we have one modified file. So let's commit this file. So to push or to merge or do any operation pull, you should have your working directory clean. Okay, it should be a clean state, nothing to commit state. Okay, so let's commit this using shortcut git commit -am made changes in develop 3. Okay, so you can see I have we have here we are in VS Code we are learning Git in develop 3. So when we check out to master again, so we don't have this change there. Everyone saw that whatever changes we made in that branch has gone because in master we don't have those changes. Okay, so now let's merge that branch here. Git merge develop 3. Okay, so assuming develop 3 was a developer, he made some feature. So when we merge the code to master branch, you can see we are currently in master branch. Okay, as per Git. So you can see the changes from develop 3 has already been reflected here in code. Okay, now let's go to how much time do we have more?
Sir, 3 minutes.
Okay, so I'll now go check out to developer 2 branch. Okay, develop 2 branch. So okay, we have develop 1, we have deleted develop 2. Okay, so I will here we are learning Git in develop 1. Let's commit here git commit -am changes in develop one. Okay, so developer one now wants to merge his feature to the master code base. So developer 3 has developed a about feature, and developer 1 has developed a experience feature on the portfolio website. So now both features should be in master. Okay, so now we will go to master branch. So we have developer 3 changes here and not developer 2, not from developer 1. Okay, so again we will execute git merge develop 1. Now we want to merge changes done by developer 1 to the master branch. So we are on master branch and we are executing command git merge develop 1. So you can see error message here, conflict, merge conflict in demo.txt, and it has not yet committed the changes because we have some conflicts to fix. So why conflict has arisen? Because we have we have in master branch same line we are learning git in develop 3, and developer 1 has made some changes to same line and change it to develop 1. So now who the admin of the repository or whoever manages the code base has to make a decision which changes to keep. Let's say a developer 3 has made some bug and developer 1 has fixed it. So we want to accept the changes. So VS Code has made fixing conflicts easy by giving these options: accept current change, accept incoming change. Okay. So current change is keeping whatever is in master. Incoming change is coming from developer 1, and both changes is keeping both the changes. So it will add both the lines. Okay, so now we have to keep, let's say, both changes, or in for the demonstration purpose I will accept incoming change. Okay, so we have changes from developer 1 now. Okay, so when we see our git status, it's in merging state. We have not yet committed the modifications done to our repository. We have unmerged changes. Okay, we have one file modified and those are unmerged. To save these changes after fixing conflicts, we again commit, add the file to staging area and again commit. Okay, so git commit fixed merge conflicts. So I'm giving random messages now, so you can give a specific message what you have done. Okay, so you can see fix merge conflicts, and we are now in clean state. We are not in merging state, and our repository status is also tree clean. And now we have some changes. We have 3 commits that are not on our remote repository. So when we go to our remote repository, we only have when we go to here we have only 2 commits. Okay, so we are lagging behind 3 commits on remote. So again, to push that, we'll just use git push. Okay, let's refresh here. So we have the latest code base on our remote repository as well. Okay, so we have less than 1 minute. So let's take doubts and whatever you have in next session after 10 minutes. Okay.